height. And we are going to be learning how to, next week, we're going to be learning about weight, how heavy something is. And we are also going to be learning about um, capacity, how much you can fill up something. So this week we're going to be learning about length and height. We can also measure with different tools. We can even measure with markers, paper clips. Non-standard measurement means it doesn't have numbers on it. It could be different. So we're going to learn about that this week, and we're measuring length. Let's listen to it.
Measuring Length by Martha E. H. Rustad. Short or tall? We are at the water park. Am I tall enough to ride the big slide? Riders must be 48 inches, 122 centimeters tall. We need to learn how to measure length. Measuring tools. A ruler is a stick for measuring. Lines along the edge mark inches and centimeters. A ruler.
So on a measuring stick, if you could tell right here, it has lines that are really close together and a little separated. Those are called inches and centimeters. And that's how we get to measure things. Now, this is called a standard measurement. A ruler is standard. You know why? It's because if I told Hagen, get out the ruler and measure the pencil, it would be the same as my pencil, and it would be the same measurement as my pencil as Hagen's, because a ruler has the same numbers, they have the same length. So it was able to. Now, if I said, hey, Hagen, measure using your hand the length of your bed, and then I would go to the same length of my bed in my house. He used his hand, I used my hand. It will be different because his hand is smaller than mine. So that's called a non-standard unit. It means it doesn't have numbers. Your hand doesn't have numbers on it.
A yardstick measures yards.
Those yardsticks, do you remember that in my classroom? It's really, really big. It's the size of you guys or maybe a little bit shorter. Those are yardsticks.
A tape measure is a ruler that rolls up.
Raise your hand if you've seen a tape measure. These are all standards. It means that if your mommy or daddy has a tape measure when they're building, we'll show you different ones of that.
An odometer measures miles. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, 1.6 kilometers. A car's odometer measures how far the car goes.
So you see those different things? It's how fast your car can go.
How long is it? I use a ruler to measure short objects.
So he uses a ruler to measure short objects.
I use a yardstick to measure long objects.
The yardstick is a bigger ruler, so if I wanted to measure a table, that's a big table, I can use a yardstick.
I use a tape measure to measure longer objects. My dad and I measure the wall.
Now, if you used a little ruler, it would be taking you forever. So a measuring tape measure helps with that.
The lifeguard measured me. I am 4 feet, 1.2 meters tall. That is 48 inches, 122 centimeters. I can go down the big slide.
All right, great job, guys. Now we're going to go into a PowerPoint, and we are going to learn what is length and what is height. All right, so we're going to do this. And these are the difference between length and height. Hey guys, so you guys just read a story about measuring. We learned about length and height. So today we are going to be learning about, we're going to be reviewing, introducing length and height. Now I have a cool way of teaching length and I have a cool way of teaching height. So when you get, so you don't get confused, like, oh, measure the length of something, you measure it correctly. So a length is when we do it long. Okay, the reason why I think of length, it starts with the L. L starts with the length starts with the L. So does long, how long something is. So I think of a DJ, the DJ does this back and forth. So length is how long something is. Say length is how long something is. Your hand goes side to side. Say length is how long something is. Now I want you to do it. Length. I heard length is how long something is. Your hand's going side to side. So that means if you had a measuring tape, you are going to measure it this way, going like this. Length. Length is how long something is. Now for height, height starts with right? We want to learn how tall an object is. How tall. You're like, okay, but tall starts with a T. All right, who has done karate or martial arts or something else? Well, height, I think of, so I go like this. In karate, you cut a piece of wood and you do it, I think, on the side of your hand and cut it. And you say, hiya, right? And so I think of height, height, height. My hand goes like this. If it goes up and down, means height, how tall something is. So length is how long something is. Height is how tall something is. So it's height, 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 long. Height, height, length. Height, height, length. All right, so height, say height, is how tall something is. Hiya, height. Height is how tall something is. Height, height. Length is how long something is. Height is how tall something is. Height, height. Do you get it? All right, so I'm going to show you my screen real quick. We're going to go on to this. We are going to look at a little anchor chart that I made right here. And okay, here it says, here's this alligator. We know that length is how long something is. Say length is how long something is. Your hand goes like this, bing, bing, bing. So it's measuring by a ruler right here. How long? So this alligator is long, okay? We're measuring it from this end to this end. And how short? We're measuring how length, this end to this end. We have to measure the same. Which one is longer? You should have said the alligator. Great job. Which one is shorter? You should have said the grasshopper, I think. So length is how long something is. So how long? He looks like he's 12 inches long. He looks like he is 10 inches long. All right, now we are learning about height. Height is how tall something is. Do it with me. Height, how tall something is. Height, how tall something is. Now we're measuring it. We're not measuring the length, we're measuring height. I want to make sure I go like this on the draft. Okay, he is measuring height. I can measure height. Height, how tall something is. So it goes from top to bottom. Now, when we measure, we always want to start at the bottom. We do not want to start in the middle. Start at the bottom of the object and go at top. How short? We start from the bottom and go to the top. How short an object is. Okay, we're using a ruler for this. You can always use markers. Tomorrow we're going to read a Sid the Science Kid, watch a Sid the Science Kid measuring, and then we're going to be learning how to measure length and height. All right, guys, great job. We are learning about length is how long, height is how tall something is. Awesome job, guys. See you tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow because tomorrow is Sid the Science Kid, and I'll see you another day. Okay, see you later.